Coach, your second year here at Marquette, what attracted you to come here?
Well, first of all, it was Tom Crean. I really like his style of play, his style of basketball, and the way he relates to his kids. That was one thing I think that really stuck out at me that made me want to come here.
You were a former player and a good one in your own right, all-time assist leader at Washington State and then played overseas. How much does that playing experience help you relate to the players, do you think?
It helps a lot because I think the kids really, if I say something to them about where they should be or the things they should do, and a lot of them understand that I did play at some point in time, it gives me a little credibility, I think, with the guy, especially being a new guy. Gives me a little bit more credibility.
You had a good run as an assistant at Oklahoma, including a trip to the Final Four. What was that experience like?
Unbelievable. I mean, that was that's what we all play for. That's what we all coach for. If you're in this game, you're in this business, you're coaching, you play to win it all. And that was an opportunity for us at Oklahoma to win it all.
One of the phrases that's talked about as far as your responsibilities and something that you're very good at is player development. Talk about what that means to you.
Well, I think player development is the thing that happens inside your program that enhances your program. It gives your program longevity, I think, because if you get a kid comes in that has a certain skill level and you're making better over the years, you're in turn making your program better. I think that is very, very important. Coming here and being a big part of player development, that's how you take your program to the next level.
Essentially, in layman's terms, what you're talking about is the improvement a player makes from when he steps on campus to when he leaves. And oftentimes, maybe, is there too much attention put on who's a nice high school All-American, and it's all about what you do once you get to college? I
think the teams that go in the long term, that plays deep into March, the teams that are playing with a lot of good players, those teams are the teams that develop their players along the way. You get a high school All-American to come in, and they're a great player, they have a lot of skill, but again, you're talking about 18-year-old kids playing against 21, 22-year-old young men. But when you get a kid that has a pretty good skill set that comes in your program and you make that skill set a lot better, you're looking at a better team down the road.
I guess if I were to look for a common thread between Oklahoma and Marquette, it would be how hard those teams play. I mean, I think about the Sooners in your era. Nahara is the one guy who comes to my mind, right? But I mean, that's what you want, right? Guys playing to the max.
Right. I mean, you take those guys, again, you talk about the All-American. Me personally, and I think a lot of coaches around the country would feel the same way, I would rather take a tough kid that plays extremely hard over an extremely talented kid, because the tough kid is going to give you everything you got every time he walks on the floor. And sometimes that talented kid, if it's not going right, his talent has gotten him by for so long, it's really tough to make that adjustment. So not saying that all talented kids aren't tough, but I would much rather have an extremely tough kid versus an extremely talented kid.
You spend a lot of time recruiting. Do you enjoy that aspect of the job?
I do. I love to travel. The toughest part is being away from your family for 3 or 4 days at a time, or whatever the case may be. And I really enjoy helping building a program from the ground up, if you will, starting from the evaluation process of the kid to the recruiting of the kid to eventually the kid coming here on campus as a student athlete. So I'm involved in that entire aspect, and I really enjoy that.
Final question, you're coming down the home stretch of this season. Is that stress? Is it fun? This is all the preparation coming to defining this season in the next month or so?
It really is. Stressful? No, I don't think it's stressful, but it's like you say, you're coming down the home stretch, and March is approaching. Selection Sunday is approaching, and these are the things, again, that you play for as a coach and that you coach for. So it's an exciting time. We're in the hunt in our league, and we're right there. We're right there.
Coach, thank you, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Coach, you mentioned Bennie's recruiting ability, and you've really turned this program into a national recruiting base, right? I mean, you'll look at player wherever they are. It's not necessarily just the Midwest.
Well, absolutely, because I think you have to find fits. You have to find exactly what you're looking for, and we're in a program and in a league where you better be able to do that. And the talent pool shrinks as the competition level goes up. So therefore, you do have to look more places. And it's important because we do want to start at home. We do want to start in the Midwest, but you have to be able to move further. But at the same time, you don't want to recruit just a player. You don't want to recruit just an athlete. You want to recruit somebody that's got the character and got the talent. And to us, as big as what kind of program they come from. What kind of program, how are they raised, all those kind of things. We could spend a whole show talking about what we're looking for, but I really feel confident with the coaches that we have being able to go out there and look for those kind of people.
Don't go away. When we come back on the Tom Crean Show,